All right, so welcome back to Dapp University. So today I've got some pretty big news to talk about on how we're going to solve one of Ethereum's biggest problems really soon, and a really specific thing about that problem that we got big news about yesterday. Okay, we've been talking about Ethereum's gas fees on this channel quite a bit lately. It's one of the biggest things that's top people's minds. We've been talking about layer 2 scaling solutions coming out, but we got new news, some additional news on how we're going to solve a very specific problem in that. So I'll talk about that today in today's stream. Lots of other, bullish news for the space coming out. We're going to look at the markets, all that kind of stuff. So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to this channel. And if you don't know how to become a blockchain master step-by-step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so we got people rolling in the chat here. We got Manny, Gilsuck, Ibrahim, Mark, Ivan, Viking Marketer, awesome, Michael. So let's jump into this first piece of news, okay? So this is something I saw on Twitter yesterday, right after the live stream. I wish I had seen it during the live stream. Would have talked about it then, because this is pretty big. So, like I said a minute ago, we've been talking about. Sorry, let's see here. Let me fix my. I don't know why my screen's not working here. My camera's not working with the screen. Give me 1 second. Hold on, everybody. Let me just fix this. All right, now you can see me. So yes, we've been talking a lot about layer 2 scaling for Ethereum and how this is going to be a huge deal for Ethereum's gas fees, okay? Basically, every time about Ethereum being too expensive to use, it costs like $50 to trade a token on Uniswap. It's really expensive to send tokens around. I've been saying it over and over and over again. You guys might be tired of me talking about it, but we're having solutions ship out for this, this month in March. The one I'm most excited about for the short to midterm is Optimism for optimistic rollups. Okay, it's really easy for developers to move their apps over to layer 2. The developer tools mostly work out of the box. The apps talk to one another on layer 2. But one of the downsides to layer to Optimism that I've been upfront with on this channel is that there's a delay for the withdrawal time. Okay, so about some potential workarounds on this. Exchanges supporting on ramps and off ramps for layer 2 scaling solutions. I've talked about how some applications have been able to kind of found workarounds at this, but one really important app, so MakerDAO, has created an Optimism Die Bridge, which solves the 1 week withdrawal problem for optimistic rollups. Okay, so this is huge. So we'll see how it works. Basically, like unlike sidechains, all the data to reconstruct the optimistic virtual machine (OVM) that's where the smart contracts run on layer 2. The state is represented on L1, which is called the canonical transaction chain. Okay, anyways, I won't get too deep into the weeds here. But basically what it does is it uses an off-chain process to basically give you a credit on the other side to where you can withdraw and sort of bypass that wait time. So you can check out this whole thread on Twitter and see the post in the MakerDAO forum if you want to get really in depth on how they're doing this. But this is a big deal, because I think one of the issues for this particular solution. All the solutions have trade-offs, by the way. One of the solutions is this as long withdrawal time, but we've got lots of people working on innovative ways to make that not so bad, and this is a really good one. And MakerDAO is a huge project because DAI is such a widely used coin. It's a stable cryptocurrency whose price doesn't change. It's a decentralized stable coin backed by other cryptocurrencies. So this is huge. All right, so let's check on the. Let's go and check up on the markets here. We'll start off with Ether. Okay. So ETH is at $1,841.78. I believe we were higher than we were 24 hours ago. Yes, we are. Yeah. I mean, I'm optimistic about this in the short term. Again, not a big trader, not a big TA guy. It's not financial advice. You know, I'm a developer. I've invested in this stuff for the long term guy. I like to look at the big picture here. And everybody's kind of freaking out on this latest sort of correction that we saw here. Okay. We talk about that a lot in this channel. We went up to 2K. I thought we would hit 2K. Once we hit 2K, I was expecting some sort of pullback. We did pull back. And it looks like, you know, we've broken out of that as well. Okay. So like big picture here, I don't think anything is like totally changed in terms of like, is this bull market going to continue? I think it's going to continue because I don't see a compelling reason for it not to. Again, that's just my opinion, not financial advice. I don't have any short-term price predictions on this stuff, but I don't see any like massive warning signs here. Again, we could correct for the short term. Always be careful if you're trying to take short-term profits, but yeah, I don't see any writing on the wall that would make me really cautious about what's going on right now. So same thing for Bitcoin. Again, ETH and Bitcoin are basically doing the same thing, right? I mean, you can back out. It's not the same in terms of percentage moves, but you look at the overall shape here, right? We got this dip going on here. Same type of thing. Of course, Bitcoin's got, yeah, same, basically the same move. Okay. So we can check the Nupal chart to kind of get a temperature on what's going on with the amount of network and profit. So the Nupal metric did reset whenever we had this correction. You know, we're going back to the 0.75 line, which is euphoria. Honestly, it'd be nice for us to like cool off a little bit. I really don't want to kiss this line. It would be crazy to see how many times we can kiss this line before something happens. Yeah, that is one thing I would like to keep an eye on. So, again, big picture here. I haven't taken any money off the table or anything like that. You know, if we cross this line, going to blue territory, that's when things can get a little ugly. Again, if you're brand new to Nupal metrics, this is on-chain analysis. This is looking at, you know, the long story short, you want to watch out for blue. Blue means that a lot of people are in profit and are likely to take some of those profits. And every time we've seen a big blue spike in the past, it has resulted in a price, you know, like basically a bear market. Not always. I mean, some people call this two bull markets. Yeah, you just want to watch out when we're in blue. We're not in blue yet. We're headed towards blue. We'll see if we, you know, move up slower, but we'll see. Okay, so let's move on here. So a really interesting report that I saw come out yesterday was from CNBC, Kathy Wood. So if you're familiar with her, she's with ARK Invest. Okay. She's become a Bitcoin bull, famous for her Tesla kind of outlook, especially earlier on. The important thing to hear here is her talking about sort of a modern investing portfolio, including 20% into cryptocurrency. Okay, this is a pretty big deal, because you know, here is a really classic portfolio of like 60% split between stocks and bonds. But she's talking about it may look more like 60-20-20, 60% in equities, 20 in bonds, and 20% in cryptocurrency. So, I mean, it's a big deal. This is not really something that people would have said 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is a big deal. If you think bonds from this level, if you think about bonds from this level, this idea of a 60-40 balanced portfolio is a bit problematic. We've been through a 40-year bull market in bonds. We would not be surprised to see this new asset class become part of those percentages. Maybe 60% equity, 20 and 20. Tesla has long been one of ARK's largest positions. Other companies have also increasingly adopted cryptocurrency, either supporting payment and transfer, or actually buying the assets. Yes, it's pretty nuts, man. All right, so let's move on here. One thing I did see that was pretty interesting yesterday too. If you look at coin market cap, so I look at CoinGecko pretty exclusively when we do these price updates. go to CoinMarketCap. I don't know if this feature is brand new, but I haven't checked it in a while, but they actually created an ETH dominance metric at the top of the website. So if you go to CoinMarketCap, you see the metrics at the top, the market cap, 24-hour volume, dominance for Bitcoin is 60%. They've always had the Bitcoin dominance up there, but now they have an ETH dominance, so 12.3%. That's awesome. ETH gas as well. All right, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So another thing I want to circle back to is Jack Dorsey, of course, CEO of Twitter. An update on his tweet that he's been selling. So we talked about this in some of the previous live streams. So Jack, of course, was selling his tweet on Cent Valuables. Okay. So, we've seen this trend go on where people are experimenting with selling digital items on the blockchain. I've seen, of course, digital collectibles. We've seen all these different things kind of go. Now people are experimenting, selling tweets. Of course, this has been going on for a while, but now that this trend is hot, I see more people are kind of jumping on this bandwagon. Of course, Jack is selling the first tweet ever tweeted on Twitter, which was by the creator of Twitter, Jack himself. Just setting up my Twitter. So this was current offer was for, I think, $2.5 million. And so we were speculating, like, hey, what's going to happen? Is he just going to, like, sell this and pocket the money, or what's he going to do? So we have some clarity on this. So he says it's going to end March 21st. We'll immediately convert proceeds to Bitcoin and send a Give Directly Africa response. So, yeah, this is a classic Jack thing. He hasn't always had nice things to say about ETH in the past. He's a big Bitcoiner. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So I'm glad he's doing something with the money. But it just cracks me up that he's converting it to Bitcoin first. Okay. So another thing I want to talk about is I saw this come up. I listened to this for maybe like 5-10 minutes, but there was an interview on the Tim Ferriss podcast with Vitalik Buterin, Naval Ravikant, and also Tim. So if you're not familiar with Tim, he's kind of like one of the OG. I'm not sure even what you'd call him. OG, like have you ever heard of the 4-Hour Work Week? That was a really early book on how to start an online business, sort of how to escape the 9-to-5, create an independent digital entrepreneurial life, right? I'm not really exactly sure what category. I mean, he's at self-improvement, like entrepreneurship, tech, like sort of all these things, overlapped together. So somebody has a good, anybody says anything in the chat, help me come up with a better description. If you know who Tim is, I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't, he's definitely like an OG guy in that space. So anyways, he has a new podcast out with interview with Vitalik Naval about Ethereum. Okay, so it was pretty good. I mean, I like I say, I didn't have time to sit down and listen to the whole thing. I listened to like 5-10 minutes of it. But it's big. I mean, Tim has a huge audience. And I'm sure lots of people were wanting to hear this, okay, because, Ethereum is becoming more of a household name. Bitcoin, of course, has always been a household name. People think of Bitcoin as synonymous with cryptocurrency. I know people who don't really know much about cryptocurrency who think that all cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, right? But we're seeing ETH become more of a household name. And this type of thing, when it reaches wider audiences like this, is huge for that. It's a really great interview, a YouTube video with Vitalik and Naval. I think it was from 2017. Kind of talking about, Ethereum. I think it's called like Decentralized Everything or something like that. You can go check that out if you want to. So let's see here. If you got any questions in the chat. Somebody says OG self-growth, self-improvement guy. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Somebody says people in upper Wisconsin still haven't heard of the internet. So one other thing I want to look at, actually, I realized, let me find it. So one thing I want to talk about is I saw this tweet floating around yesterday. I didn't get to look into this very much. If y'all want to, kind of look at it and report back. So I don't know all the facts on this, so you gotta check on the integrity of everything that's being said here. But it says Wyoming is beginning to vote on a bill that would help folks legally create legally recognized DAOs. Okay, so if you know what that is, this could be crazy if this actually is a thing. So a decentralized autonomous organization is essentially just a decentralized. I'm trying to define it without using the same words. It's essentially a blockchain-based entity. It's not really a company, because it's not centrally controlled, but it lacks central control. People can vote on what to do. Yeah, you see this pattern where a lot of these blockchain-based application DeFi apps are transitioning towards DAOs, by ownership by DAOs. One of the big benefits of DAOs is that they can basically, you don't have the same ability to just like shut a DAO down like you would a regular company. There's lots of benefits, right? But the important thing to see here is, we've seen lots of experiments with DAOs. We're always trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work with DAOs. Some things are just going to totally fail as a DAO, but some things are successful as a DAO. So the important thing to see here is that DAOs are a futuristic concept built on blockchain, and if this is true, we're seeing the beginnings of these DAOs actually become legally recognized entities, okay, in the U.S., which could be huge. It'd be a whole new class, right, at this point, which would be crazy, with legal status. Like maybe a DAO could own property. You know what I mean? Like maybe a DAO could own like physical property, like real estate, or yeah, it would be nuts. Somebody says organizations run by a protocol. Yeah, that's a pretty good definition. Yeah, so like an organization where there are clear rules codified by code that are auditable, trustless, verifiable, all that kind of stuff. So it's like an LLC on steroids. Yeah, kind of. So let's see here. We got more questions in the chat. Let's see here. Somebody says, did I go to music school? Yes, I did go to music school. Somebody says, what's optimism? So optimism is one implementation of optimistic rollups as a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, basically building a second layer on top of the layer 1 blockchain itself to help with Ethereum's transaction fees and also speed, among other things. It's going to go live this month. We'll probably see other apps move over to it really fast, and it's going to be big. Do I think that most NFTs will run on Ethereum? It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that long term. I mean, I think the ones that are there now will stay on Ethereum. I think that's how they'll actually maintain their value. Like CryptoPunks, for example. I don't think CryptoPunks are going to migrate off of Ethereum. As far as new NFT projects go, I mean, if layer two really does become what we want it to be, which I think it can, that's going to incentivize a lot of the activity to stay on Ethereum simply because that's where the users are. And if we improve the ecosystem where the users are right now, there's no reason, no compelling reason for people to leave that. And just by that logic, I would think that we would see more NFTs, stay on Ethereum at that point. So that, the caveats there are, it is early in this space, truly anything can happen, but, I don't have a reason to think that, I don't have a bigger reason to think that they would leave unless somebody else does a really good job at creating like an NFT specific chain or something. So Mrs. Optimism this month, Berlin Fork next month, ETH 2.0 in July. All good news. Yeah, it's all good news. So Mrs. NFT Ethereum gaming. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think gaming is definitely an industry that can be disrupted by NFTs. Check out that video I did last week talking about that. All right, everybody. So actually, I wrap up a little bit early for today. As always, smash that like button down below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so more people can learn about blockchain. If you like those videos, you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master course entirely, I can become a blockchain master step by step from start to finish. Go to my YouTube homepage, find any of my free courses there. Like, Udemy courses are totally free. You like those? You want to take the next step? I can show you how to become a blockchain master over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. Okay. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding background become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching.